In this video, I'm going to show you how to go from this mess inside your van to this in just over 48 hours. And I'm not just talking about changing the colour of your t-shirt either. Hello and welcome back to another video, and in this one I'm going to show you how to rack out your van using some basic DIY skills and tools. And as a bonus, I'm also going to try and achieve this in just one day. Now, I have a Ford Transit Custom Sport. It's a 21 plate, but it doesn't really matter what the year is or what the van is, because the skills and that I'm going to show you in this video, you can literally apply to whatever van you have. As you can see behind me, I do a whole load of home and property maintenance, as well as the retro and vintage repairs. And depending on the job, I need to load and unload quite quickly for the day. And up until now, I've just been using a cargo net and ratchets to keep everything secured. But finally, I wanted to get round to racking out the van. Now, of course, you can buy those ready-made kits. You see them online. But for me, they're a little bit expensive for what they are. But the main thing is you can't really customize them to what you want. So that's what I'm going to try and attempt today. I haven't really researched too much. I'm just going to use my basic knowledge, and that way you'll get an idea of just working through the processes with me, what I'm thinking about, what I'm doing. If I make any mistakes, then hopefully you won't either. So I really hope you enjoy it. The first step is, of course, working out what our layout is going to be. I've got panels on both sides, and I'm just going to choose to rack out this side over here. So the first thing for me is like where I'm going to want things, or am I going to want to grab things from that side door, grab things from here, how much of the floor space I want to compromise. So do I want to turn things this way or this way? So what I'm going to do is just go in, move my stuff around into the rough places where I want them to finally end up. So I spent around half an hour just moving things around to where I think they fit best. There's only so much you can do when you're just kind of holding them up. Originally, I did want to have these sideways like this. I liked the idea of being able to pull them in and out more easily. But to be honest, to fit in the Hoover over there and like some of the plastering gear, I had to free up some extra room, and also I had this little bit just here that sticks out, so I had to kind of work around that in terms of the depth. I've decided that there's going to be like a piece of racking here that's slightly taller that'll take these two bits. There'll be another piece of racking here that will be split down for these three, and then there'll be a final bit, one that goes here all the way to the end and down, and that will hold these tools at the bottom, and then these items along here. And the reason I'm making it into three parts is A, it's going to be easier to build and put in, and B, it means if I ever want to move things around or customize things, move the shelf, I haven't just built like one end to one end with a whole load of like shelves at different heights that's then going to be harder to work on. But yeah, basically just work out the rough heights that the items are, giving myself maybe an extra 10 centimeters above each of them so you can get your hand in to grab them, and hopefully come up with a bit of a diagram of how this is all going to look. Okay, so here's my scribbles, and we know we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of 130 high by 60 deep, and that's for trimming. We need 2 of these shelves here. The inside width is going to be 34, and again 60 deep, ready for trimming, just like these M pieces are, so they go all the way to the back of the van. We also need 3 of these that are 50 wide, and we need 3 of these shelves that are 160 wide, and again by 60 deep. So the way I've done that is I'm going to be going for some hardwood, and I'll explain why later on, but the hardwood comes in 122 by 244. So the way I'll do this is, by using 3 planks, I can cut them at 130 and pretty much down the middle at 62, which is ideal. So that's going to give me, if it stays in focus, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of those uprights. And then for the shelves, we need 2 of the 34s, 3 of the 50s, 3 of the 106s. So 3 boards of hardwood plywood should suffice for all my racking needs, with a little bit of leftover. So as I mentioned, there's a number of different types of wood I could use. You've got hardwood and softwood ply here. So obviously with plywood, it gets its strength from the way in which the material is put together. You can see these lines, and then the hardwood and the softwood, it's just kind of the gluing that they use, which makes one a little bit stronger than the other. So this stuff is like really good. There's not a lot of bend in it at all. You could also use MDF, which is down there. It's another strong wood, but MDF is, rather than this ply, these layers, it's made up of a pulp. And so this is an example here. If you look at these shelves, see how over time that pulp has just been worn away after the protective surface has gone through. So with this being the van and putting things in and out, I'm going to go for this. It's how much? £42 a sheet, 3 of those, and I'm going to go and get it cut up now. So that's the wood all bought and cut. So you can see I've had them cut all to the same depths but the different lengths. So these will be the longer shelves, the shorter ones, and then this is the very first kind of tall short ones. So that's all the shelves, and then these ones here are all the uprights. I've then also bought some of this timber down here, because what I'm going to be doing as well is battens underneath each of the shelves to give them a bit of support. Okay, so that's me home now. Now before I start cutting the wood and lining things up and showing you how to scribe, the first thing I want to do is just take these panels off. I'm not too concerned about the floor, but basically what I want to find is where the ribs are. So later on, when I secure the verticals against here using some right angle brackets, I don't just want to buzz straight in, pop through the outer skin. Inside there'll be ribs, more than likely, where these screws have been put in, because it seems to have been done really well. And then I can also just kind of measure up how deep the wood is, how deep the ribs are, and then I'll know how long the screws will be to avoid me going all the way through. And then probably just put some tape along where I found it, or maybe just rule along with a line. So this is what I was talking about. As we open it up, look, you can see there's that outer panel, and you don't want to be going straight into there. What you want to be doing is going into these ribbed portions, so you can see it running along the middle there. Okay, so that's everything checked out. I taped it up initially and then just freehand drew lines, so you can see everything inside there is safe, and that's where the screws are now. And then coming down here, it's all pretty much all safe along here. There's a tiny bit more width. This is actually okay, but I don't want to put anything down there because it kind of fades right into the corners. And the same across here, safety lines all the way around. And if you wanted, you could always rub out that when you're finished. I'll leave it on, I think, when it's all done, just for like when I move things around in the future. But now I'm going to start moving on to my shelves. So the tall parts are going to go in, the vertical parts, and I'll start to show you scribing. And the first thing I need to do with that is I want my shelves to stop at 55 centimeters. So I'm going to measure out 55 from the base, from the largest base here, and then I'm going to run a piece of tape all the way along the floor. Okay, so actually what I've decided to do is, because the 55 centimeter line pretty much followed this join of the boards on the floor, rather than kink it by like 2 centimeters, I'm actually going to follow the board, which will make it look like more like it was intended. And now I need to start putting the verticals into here and making sure they all fit, because of course if I put in the board here, it's going to sit very differently to how it is at the front. So I'll show you that now. So here's one of our boards that we had cut earlier, and you can see if I push it into here now, we can see that this is way over the line. It's like 10 centimeters too far, but the bit that's stopping it at the minute is right up here. It's this corner that's touching. This section isn't even touching at the minute. And so what we're going to need to do is remove material from here that will allow this to move back. And first of all, it'll be the corner, and then it'll be the bottom. And we're just going to keep fettling that rear section to the shape of the van until eventually this front section and this flat section are flush against the wall. And the way in which we're going to do that is called scribing. If you don't have a scribe, which you'll see me get out in a second, you can just use a ruler and pencils. I'll probably just scribe up there, maybe 5 centimeters at a time, and slowly but surely we're going to work that into there, and then we're going to do it for the other ones down the van. Now my scribe allows me to do this in lots of different ways. I can kind of profile like this, or I can use it more as a compass, depending on how it works. Now I wanted to show you on here, but either mechanism, I don't really have enough room, so I'm just going to be on the back for this, and all I'll be doing is running this down the profile, down the side of the van, and that will then draw this amount, this is 5 centimeters, on the back of the board. I'll then take it down, jigsaw it, re-put it in, and keep working it until that bottom end is there. So this is the line here that's just been scribed on. I've got my sawhorses out, clamped this down, and now I'm just going to use a jigsaw, just a basic corded jigsaw, to take that off, and then just keep repeating the process. Now, of course, if you're just doing like big bits, then you might be better off getting a circular saw out. Okay, so in we go. And remember, we were about 15 centimeters off the bottom before because of that top corner. Now when I slide it in flush, you can see up there at the top, there, see the difference, how we're starting to come in now, but now the gap's down here. And so we're just gonna keep working the wood until eventually this basically matches the shape of the van and this bottom part is in there. Hope that makes sense now. So let's have a look at this one now. And to be honest, I don't think that looks too bad. We're probably a millimetre over at the minute, but yeah, not enough to want to go back and start taking more off. So you can see that's going to be nice and flush. So I guess I'll just crack on and do all of these, and then I'll see you once they're done. Okay, so here we are at the end of day one. It's 9 o'clock at night, so I didn't really get a full day in because I had to go and do those family bits and bobs. But what I have managed to do is get all 6 of the end panels done. So that's each of them all scribed to their own individual shapes to fit the van because it varies in different places. And I've also just done this finishing touch of putting a curve on what will be the front top areas just to finish it off there. Tomorrow, there's a couple of places where it's flaked off where I'll just use a bit of wood filler because it was quite aggressive using the jigsaw. An alternative would have been a router. Mine's not available at the minute and not a lot of people have routers, so just trying to get by doing the jigsaw. So tomorrow it'll be just tidying up the backs, rechecking everything's all looking good, and then what I'll start doing is then adding the shelves to each one. And of course with each of the shelves, because of where they sit in the van, they're also going to need scribing, but along the backs of them rather than vertically. So again, another long process just doing the shelves, but smaller pieces to work with, and so shouldn't be as bad. Welcome back to day number 2. Now, I know I mentioned previously I wasn't going to use a router. The reason was basically it's my granddad's and I've always wanted to use it, but it's really old and I've already had to fix it a few times in here. The on-off button's a little unsafe by today's standards. It's not a dead man's, but I really wanted to try and use it, and also I don't have a blade long enough. So what I'm doing right now is I've just put all the pieces back in, re-scribed them just to get them exactly how I want them. And then what I'm then doing is putting my wood on, and even though it's like more of a table router than a palm router, I'm then putting the depth down onto here and then just guiding the router along in those areas just to get a nice flat scribe, dropping the depth down and doing it again because the bit isn't long enough for the 18mm. So I'm doing that now just to finesse them all, and then I'll move on to doing the shelves. So I'll give you a demo of this now. In this clip I'm explaining that I want the shelves to be vertical to the van wall and also at a right angle to the floor, and so for that I'm using one of these right angles to basically line up where the vertical parts are going to be. Then in this section I'm explaining how I've done the battens. Essentially in this one I've had to cut it back because of the box in the van, but I've found the height of the shelves I wanted, put the battens on, clamped them, profiled on the other side so I knew where the screws would go. I did a countersink and then drilled them in. Hello and welcome back to day number 3, although work-wise, day 1 was half a day, full day yesterday, and I'm hoping to complete this in another half day, making it 48 hours. Annoyingly, the audio on my mic keeps cutting out when I watch back some footage, and so I'm just going to give you a little summary of a few of the things that I did. So what you saw me doing was lining everything up with the right angles. I then scribed everything, fitted the battens, and I had to cut one of the buttons short just to account for here. One of the other things I also noticed was I needed room for this arm to go into, so I cut this hole out here so that arm slides inside. Then because I'm working on my own, it's quite tricky. If you've got 2 people, this job's a lot easier. I basically had to put them vertically, use some clamps, put the clamps on, and then that then enabled me to have a stable platform that I could slide the shelves in and out on and keep scribing. Once all of that was done, it looked really good. I then added the screws into the side to keep everything in place. And then that was like coming to the end of the day. So rather than push on with the additional shelves, I decided to secure this in place. And because we'd already marked up where was safe, I was then able to get those right angled brackets and find suitable places where the brackets and the lines all met. And I can show you that. I'll film it again in another second, and down at the bottom. So today I already have the verticals done, 2 cabinets to build. There's 3 shelves in the next one and 2 in the one after that. But because they're a lot smaller, obviously the scribing and the measuring and the process of moving in and out is going to be a lot quicker. Okay, great. So that's the end of the day, and I've finally finished racking out the van, and I think it looks absolutely fantastic. I set out to give it that real nice professional look. You know, I told you I was going to line everything up on that line, get everything, you know, all matching, all bespoke, all to the right heights. Let me show you around. Then I'll put all my stuff in and I can give you a final summary, maybe a few hints and tips for the work. So follow me inside. So you can see we've got the cutouts here for where the door arm's going to come in. We've got our shelves all in here, both secured with battens and from the side. Now, if in future any of these start to sag at all, I'll just put an extra batten across the bottom in between these two here, or maybe even use one of those right angles. For securing it, because I took the time and effort to have a look behind the panels, I knew where was going to be safe to go into. To be honest, I only really went into the wood, but if you wanted to get a really strong fixing, I could go through the wood into those areas where I know it's like the bit that's protruding and not going into the outer skin. So I've got a few, like one there, one up there, a couple at the bottom. Then as we come along here, these sections are then joined together, but I wanted to have independent units, because if you think about it, I could have just made one of these, put a batten on the other side, carried on. But what I wanted to be able to do was take out a whole section and like change things around and then put it back in. You can't really move them like left and right because of the way they're scribed, but I liked the idea of that modular design, even though it took more time and effort to build the extra panels. So we come all the way down, it's all nicely worked along here and all secured to the ground, lovely and stable. Now, also one of my ideas was going to be to put to notch out these top bits, so they go along, there'd be a little notch that would go down, and the idea being I could put like my spirit levels in the notches and they wouldn't fly around, and maybe even put some holes in there and then put piping through, so like plumbing pipe, 15mm, 22mm stuff. But actually I quite like the fact that I can rest it on top, and this gives me another option to slide things in, and the aesthetics are just so nice. I don't want to notch it out and then not use it. I think that'd be a real shame. So yeah, I'm really happy with all that work. Let me actually get my kit together, see what a van full of stuff looks like, kind of compare it to the very start of the video when I set out to do it, and yeah, we'll have a wrap up. And so there we go, we've reached the end of the video, and you know what, this has been a challenge I've really relished, racking out this van. If you remember right at the start, I told you that I think I was trying to do it in 24 hours, and I think if you had the material and a second pair of hands and you were up early and you smashed it all day long, you might just about do that. But I think what is more reasonable is a 48-hour period. But yeah, with a little bit of time, effort and patience, some slightly more advanced carpentry skills for scribing, and maybe a few extra tools I had, you can get a result just like I did. So I've managed to achieve everything that I set out to do, all nicely lined up, all scribed. Look at all that kit in there, all nicely stowed away. Now, things for the future, or options that you might want to do, you could get a leftover piece and like put them along the front, so like the equivalent of a kick plate to stop things falling out. For me personally, I'm going to be adding some D-rings, so just like this one that's here, I'm going to be adding some D-rings on here and using ratchets across the front, so I can just quickly get to whatever's on those racks. Another option could be something like a cargo net. You could put a cargo net over the front, but however you want to restrain your stuff so you're safe on the road. But yeah, I hope I've given you as many tips as I could as I was going along. But let me know, did this video help you out? Are you going to try and rack out your own van? If you do and this has been helpful, I'd really like to hear about it in the comments, and if there's anything in particular you'd like me to explain in more detail for the build, I'd be more than happy to answer them in the comments or do a follow-on video. But I think that's about wraps it up for now. There'll be a video up here that you'll enjoy, or up here there'll be a playlist. Until the next one, all the best, take care and see you. What do they say in MTV Cribs? Get out of my house. Bye. See ya. And so that, oh god, that's going to be in the outtakes.